anyway, this day, it was a very different circumstance, and I tried as best I could to concentrate on my service, which was to start off with massaging Prabhupada's head. And as I was massaging Prabhupada's head, Purushottam was coming in and out. Generally speaking, it would only be Prabhupada and the devotee who would be massaging him, but Purushottam was there too. And Prabhupada would ask, what is this? What is happening to Purushottam? Because he was in charge of the television. And he was giving some commentary, some running commentary of what was going on. And when the shot actually came of them landing on the moon and coming out, so Prabhupada asked to Purushottam, so what are you seeing? And Purushottam said, well, they have landed on the moon and it looks like they're in a very arid area. It looks like desert. And there's little pebbles and it's very dusty. And Prabhupada said, oh, there are no buildings, there are no people, there are no gardens. And Purushottam said, no, Prabhupada, this is the moon. And he was a little disturbed that Prabhupada was asking these questions, as if Prabhupada didn't know what the moon looked like. And so Prabhupada concluded, said, then this is not the moon. He said, according to Vedic astronomy, the moon is an upper heavenly planet full of a very advanced civilization, full of buildings and parks and lakes. A very beautiful place, full of all varieties of life. So this is not the moon. This is my conclusion from what you're saying to me. And Purushottam got into a really heated discussion and took the side of the scientists. And it was during this moment that Prabhupada went like this, and he wanted me to come and sit in front of him. And I thought, because Prabhupada suspected that I was watching television, but then his hands came on my head, and I was sitting higher up than Prabhupada, so his hands were up like this, and they were massaging my head. And he said, like this, you do like this. And so he did this twice. And then the third time when I went back, I was massaging, and Prabhupada said, still you're not getting it right. And I said, but Srila Prabhupada, I promise you, I'm not looking at the television. I'm not. I'm just concentrating on... And then Prabhupada chuckled and said, that's all right. But also, at that same moment, because we were close to the door, to the hall, and the door was just slightly open. It was just like a little chink. And Prabhupada looked through the crack in the door, and he saw that Malati had just taken some milk bottles from the little hatch by the main front door to the flat, and she'd put these dirty milk bottles on the same little table that the offering that she had gone to great pain and trouble to prepare for Prabhupada's deities. And she had put these dirty bottles on there. And of course, this is putting something very suchi with something very muchi. And Prabhupada saw this just out of the corner of his eye. It wasn't like he was looking through the door all the time. He was looking at the television, he was talking to Purushottam, he was concerned about my consciousness, that I was getting absorbed in the discussion, and I wasn't really there for the discussion, I was there to massage Prabhupada. And at the same time, Malati had messed up an offering. And so then he called Malati in a very angry mood. And again, generally speaking, when Prabhupada's taking a massage, he doesn't call on any ladies to come to see him. But there was tremendous urgency there, and anger. And Malati flew in through the door, paid her obeisances, and she was clutching the top of her sari, keeping it over her head. And, what's happened, Srila Prabhupada? He says, can't you see? Can't you learn? I have taught you so many things, can't you learn? When are you going to like this? And she didn't know what she had done. She did not know what Prabhupada was talking about. So she was getting more and more confused. And she was getting really disturbed. And then Prabhupada had to point out what she had done. And then she started to cry, and then she ran out and she took the bottles away.
Prabhupada also was greeting of the deities when he first arrived. So he said, be very careful. He said, do not become proud. He said, you're dealing with Radha and Krishna. Don't be proud. Then everything will be spoiled. And then another time, one guest asked Prabhupada, he says, why does Krishna have peacock feather? You know, and I remember I was thinking, well, Prabhupada's going to give some far-out esoteric reason, you know, that peacocks are this, and therefore he goes, and Prabhupada just turned around and said, because he likes to. You know, it's the way Prabhupada said it. It was just so it was so simple. And actually, Prabhupada said on another occasion also, he said that he was sitting on the Vyasasana and he said, this Krishna consciousness, it is so simple, you will miss it. He said, it is so simple, you will miss it. And I always remember that because it was just so simple, you know, what he was saying. And yet it was so deep. Because Prabhupada said, this Krishna consciousness is so simple, you will miss it.
There was ecumenical meeting. Shamsundar had arranged for a few clergy to come and meet Srila Prabhupada. It was a sunny afternoon, so we met on the lawn. And Prabhupada was sitting down on the grass. And there were 3 chairs put out for some of the clergy who aren't accustomed to sitting cross-legged on the grass. 3 nuns arrived, and as they were sitting down, they respectfully said to Prabhupada, said, so, you are the spiritual master of the Hare Krishna movement? And Prabhupada said, no, I am the spiritual servant. Very quiet. I don't even know if they heard him. But Prabhupada's vision of himself was very humble.
When this Anglican nun came to meet Srila Prabhupada, and she was wearing what we generally recognize as a nun's habit. Although she wasn't a Catholic nun, she was an Anglican nun. And she kept a rosary just like a Catholic nun. And Prabhupada asked her what she chanted on. What was the prayer that she chanted? And she said, well, my prayer is, my dear Lord Jesus Christ, please have mercy on me. And she says, I say this with all sincerity on every beat before I do my work. And Prabhupada said, yes, he said, this is a very good prayer. He said, this prayer, my dear Lord Jesus Christ, please have mercy upon me. You should go on, continue praying like this, and certainly Lord Jesus Christ will bestow his mercy upon you.